Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Legacy. This is your host, Jasmine, and I'm here with my two lovely co-hosts. Oh. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
Lee Sheen call us guests.
Guess this time. I was waiting.
Listen.
Well,
I'm like, glad I'm being nice this week.
Right.
I mean, you be something else again. Okay.
She sound great. Shut your mics off. Right. hey, let me hear him say my name. It's Key, your favorite inspirationalist. Click.
Right. This is Lexi, your expert in evolution. I feel like I'm on an Oscar stage. They're gonna start playing the music when we talking.
Hook that up? Right. Our sound engineer, can you hook that up? Where I get control of the mics.
I need a button. So I want a remote. Yeah,
just send this directly to me. So whenever they get out of pocket about me not having a tag name, I can mute them both.
It's like
mute it. Hello, is this thing on?
Mic check. 1, 2.
I'm sorry, we seem to have lost our guest.
Right. Moving on. Letting it go.
So today, ladies, we will be talking about why we stay in bad relationships and why can't we let them go.
Lord.
Man, last week we were talking about, letting go of grief and losses and things of that nature.
Right.
So this week, I just want to let's talk about,
Part
why
2.
are we staying in bad relationships? Why can't we let bad relationships go?
That's
or bad situations.
That's a big one. There's so many things to unpack here.
Ooh, right.
Where should we start?
It is. I mean, I'll start off first.
Yeah, give us something.
So, I've been in, I'm going to be honest, 3 real relationships in my life. Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, okay.
And all 3 of them has been bad, though. Right? They've all been bad. I wasn't in love with none of them. I love them all dearly. Don't get me wrong. I love them all a lot. I care for them all dearly. But I wasn't in love with none of them. Like my first one, 16, it was abusive. Now, why didn't I leave, right? First year was amazing, very caring, daunting, flowers for no reason, open car doors. He was a church-going guy. I'm like, hey, I looked up.
Jackpot,
right?
Yahtzee.
Hello, he nice, he sweet. What can I expect? Second year was like, I didn't walk into somebody.
Wow. It took a whole year.
Wow.
It took a whole year. Yeah. The second year was just like, I don't know this man, what is going on? But I didn't leave. When the physical abuse started, I did not leave. I kept it to myself. I was quiet. It was like, who do I go to? And I come to realize now, as an adult, it was like I didn't leave because I didn't want to be alone.
Ooh, that's
I was going to ask that, yeah.
I didn't want to be alone because, again, like talking about loss last week, I had lost my mom at 13. And don't get me wrong, I had my sisters, but they had their own little lives. But I had finally had someone that paid attention to me.
That's huge.
It was like, hey, Jazz, I love you. I care about you. We spending time together. It was like I had something of my own.
Yeah.
Somebody that loved you.
And the thought of being alone was scary to me because up until that point, I had been alone for 3 whole years prior.
Yeah.
Right?
So it was like you finally found someone.
Yeah, it was like, I don't want to let this go. Yeah, he acting a little crazy, but I mean, can't we get...
Again, we
can work it out. I always want to work it out and fix it.
Yeah, we can work it out.
I can change him. I can change him. He's apologizing. Why can't I accept his apology?
He is sorry.
He's sorry.
Literally.
He literally sorry. But again, and then I leave that one, and I'm like, okay, I finally get out of that one because I'm like, again, I'm thinking back to what my mom going to want, and that normally helps me drive out of the relationship, which is, I know this isn't the life she wants for me.
Yeah.
So I was able to break away from that. But then I get into my second one, my son father, hey, up front, it ain't bad. We good. We having a good time. It's like, hey, it's almost like the second year come around with people, and it's like, but to him, I'm thinking, but about the past stuff. But you out here cheating and you doing your thing. And you out here, you cheating like but you ain't physical with me. You just out here cheating all up.
Which sometimes people think is better.
What you think is
better.
I
ain't hit you.
But again, in my mind, I'm like, well, shoot, dog, I can fix it. We can work it out. I'm going to change you. We're going to
do this.
We're going to do this. But then you start bringing back babies with you. No, I can't. Then I can't do that. I can't flow. That's not what I can do. Yeah. Then I get in my last one, and I think this was my longest of 10 years. This one was a combination of mental, abuse. And eventually in my mind, it was like, well, Jazz, the physical you was going to heal.
Right.
He ain't cheating.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's like mental, and it's playing on my mental, and it's like, I'm sometimes checking myself with like, well, maybe. Then it start being, well, Dag, I done been with you for 5 years. I done put in time into you. I done put energy into you. I done helped you get a job. I'm clothing you. I'm beating you. I
built you up. You done built you up.
Don't walk away from this.
Right.
Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear.
If I build a bear, I'm keeping my bear.
Keeping it.
Yeah, they can
expensive.
You buy outfits for them.
What? Hats, shoes. I'm
little
keeping my
cars.
bear.
Why do I walk away from this? I can't walk away. Because now I done invested. And if I walk away, then it's almost like, did I fail?
Right.
Is it now part
yet
of
another
failure?
relationship?
Another relationship?
Right.
But then it's like, what are we holding on to? And eventually I'm like, well, no, I gotta know that I want more for myself. I know I deserve more for myself.
Yeah.
But even every day,
sometimes you know that, even in it.
You know it.
Even in it, yeah.
You know, like, I don't deserve this.
Yeah. But one thing you said that was really deep for me, and I posted something. So Shy and I have been married for 5 years, and we've been like in a real boyfriend-girlfriend relationship for the past 16 years. And we put a little picture up yesterday. But before that, we've known each other at least like 20 years.
Correct.
So I was 14, when I originally came in contact with him, and then we got back together when I was like 18 years old. And I always try to ask myself, like, why you didn't leave? And our issue was infidelity. And it was like, well, why you ain't never leave? And one thing you said was, I didn't want to be alone. And in the beginning, I didn't want to be alone because the pain that I felt of the thought of him leaving.
Yeah.
So anytime we would go through anything, he would always come back. He would always come back to me. And he would console me. So I wasn't in pain long enough, and that became like you know what I'm saying? He became like my healer, you know? So it lessened the pain in a sense, right?
Yeah, because he was there to help you.
Because he was there, yeah.
He was like, I know I caused this pain, but let me make it
up.
But at the same time, some guys could do you a favor by leaving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because just because bro keep coming back doesn't mean that that's a healthy relationship. Because it may be good. I've had guys who, even before Shy, who left, and it's like, that actually worked out. I'm actually glad that he left and no longer wanted, to be in this relationship. So I would say, one, we don't want to be alone. And I would say, two, we build up a tolerance level.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? We build up a tolerance level, and it's like, okay, I can accept it, or not even I can accept it. I would say I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to take them back. And then I would take them back. And at the end of the day, it was like, I really love this person. I'm glad that I never did leave for long periods of time, but it's a choice that I made. And every woman has to make their own choice about who she chooses to be in union with. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was always a conscious decision. This is the person that I want to grow through life with. Mm-hmm. He is my person.
But it was different because he brought other things to the table.
He did.
And together y'all were able to build things. It wasn't always as if your pain was outweighing y'all good.
It was all, I mean, he was always a provider. He was good. We did things. We traveled. I mean, if you had to do percentages, 85% of the time, we was good. But that 15% or 20% was killing me.
Was killing you, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It has done damage to me. It has done damage to my children. You know what I'm saying? They probably grow up and have all type of stories about mom and dad. I don't know what the kid's going to turn out and be like. You know what I'm saying? My daughter might be jacked up in her next relationship. Watching mom and dad
get these kids into counseling.
Now they getting counseling
online. Some resources.
Let me tell you, it's all real. It is real.
You know, it's real, and I try to have real conversations with my daughter about what to accept and what not to accept. I try to display certain characters, as a woman, and we love each other in relationship. It's not going to be easy. I just chose somebody to grow through life with, and I believe I chose, the right person. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's always, it's always going to be a reason. Like you said, it could be the tolerance. It could be history. It could be, but I also think a lot of it is generational. And I think that sometimes, even if you may not have directly witnessed like a mom or a dad, in an abusive relationship, whether the abuse is physical, mental, financial, whatever the abuse may be, if you have had some sort of interaction with it, that sticks with you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've learned, even in our conversations and talking before, like even when we talked to, I think it was Dr. J, but we have to be more proactive with getting the help. Introducing the help to ourselves, to our kids, to everything. Because if we think for 1 minute that it just kind of, they'll just handle it when they get to it.
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
It's not addressed.
And they don't know the best way to handle it.
So true.
And I'm not the expert. Right? So I'm going to give Camille, all that I can from a female, a woman, a mother, parental perspective. But I need her to get a clinical perspective, because my feedback, no matter how well intended I am, it still is it's biased.
Yeah.
Because it's my situation.
Correct. Based off of your experience.
My experience.
Right, exactly.
And,
what you know.
Yep.
And I could tell her all day the why.
Right.
Well, I did it because of this and this and that.
Right.
But I still need you to unpack with somebody a clinical perspective. That's why I said, like in the last episode, I sought out a grief counselor for Camille, and she's 6.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, well, that's, why? Or some people are like, oh, that's good. But she's asking questions.
Right.
And my pastor said to me, if they're old enough to ask a question, they're old enough to get the answer.
Yeah.
But then I'll add to that, like, who should the answer come from? Because I'll give you certain pieces of information, but I think that's the letting go part. Camille has watched me through, divorce. She's watched me through another relationship that never got physical, but was definitely mentally and financially abusive. And now, I'm engaged, and that's a beautiful thing for her to see. But if I ignore that there was something that happened before that, she misses it. And then we ain't even got a chance to touch on the before 7 years ago life of, just abuse and things like that came with me probably getting to that point.
I think another reason we stay too is for financial stability. I mean, if you're with somebody, it's hard to just up and leave. And I don't take that from anyone like, oh girl, you should leave. It's like, well, number one, where am I going to go? How am I going to get there? How am I going to maintain? And these are good questions that she could get the answer to and actually leave. So it's not like they're bad questions. But in reality, everybody
can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, just get in my car and go where? Some people don't have any support systems, family-wise. Some people aren't financially set. And that's not to say stay, but that's to say, where are my hindrances? Where am I being challenged that I can't leave? You know what I'm saying?
So according to Psychology Today, they say, so here goes some of the reasons why they say we maintain bad relationships. We can be satisfied with unsatisfactory relationships, right? So for the most part, they're saying, if you pretty much have low self-esteem or, you're okay with being in an unsatisfactory relationship. Because you have low self-esteem. And
you don't feel like you
don't
deserve.
Feel that you're worthy of anything more. This is
like,
enough.
This is the best.
This is the best you can do.
He loves me.
They also have a shift in priorities. So if your partner is generous but not thoughtful, you might come to value generosity more than thoughtfulness over the course of your relationship. Low quality alternatives. So you'll look at all of the negative qualities if you say, well, if I leave this relationship, I'm not going to find nobody else because I'm too big.
We outnumber men.
We outnumber men. There's not that many
what else is out there?
Right. Where am I supposed to go?
I'm not building another bear.
I just stay with
I already got this bear.
It's all over.
You know how many foot pressings I had to do to get that thing
stuffed?
Him.
Manipulation.
Cologne.
Manipulation is the other one. So whenever it's time to leave, your partner starts trying to manipulate you, whether it's emotional, physical, they make threats, everything. That's why you shouldn't go.
That one is huge.
An investment. What did we talk about? I invested my time, my energy, my money, all of these things in you, and now we talking about I should depart and leave.
Oh, and to that one, I can say I've definitely been there because I was I done did all this work and somebody else about to come in and take all this stuff.
That's the quote of a woman.
I get it.
I had to be like, bye.
I put all this time
what you say? Since you got it, she can have it.
That's how. Yeah, you'll get there. Go ahead and go. You could be somebody else's headache.
Right.
Love.